This is quite the challenge. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Low End University. Maddie is from the band's sixth studio album, Cool to Be You, released in 2004. And after 8 years, this album was the follow-up to Everything Sucks, which was released in 1996. And that was one of the first few punk albums I heard. I was just blown away by the bass playing I heard from Karl Alvarez. It's just so bold and adventurous and really creative. And while a lot of these punk bass players use a pick, which is totally cool, I became infatuated with his playing style, being primarily a finger player myself, although I am using the pick a lot more lately. I blame you guys for that one. But I digress. Outside of the album Everything Sucks, I've really heard nothing else from this band, and that one album alone was enough to really hook me, so I've been itching to circle back to these guys, and I'm told this song is quite an interesting listen musically, so without further ado, here's Maddie from Descendents.
Gotta get our clothes on. There'll be no easy days, cause I've got no degree. You'll see your brother in a week or 3. Here's a picture of me, just don't let them see. Cause they're not that fond of me. They're gonna tell you that I'm not real, but their time is through, and I'll be the one.
I think we've circled through every note, all 12. In the first 30 seconds. Okay, I didn't expect that. That's either a lot of key changes or just modulating with pivot chords and jumping to other keys. It's all one and the same. Let me just hear that again. That was a complete out of left field thing. And I love the bass tone, like the presence, the way it sits in the mix. That's one thing I remember from every song on Everything Sucks. Like every note Karl plays just sounds so pissed. Like, not in like a negative or positive way, like just every single note has this individual punch element. It's so clear and articulated, and I don't think that has anything to do with the tone or the volume or anything. I think it's just really in the hands. Because even on more dynamic parts of that other album, I just remember it still having a clarity to it, even though he dialed back the intensity. It's just a unique bass presence mix-wise, a unique player, the note choice is everything. I'm glad to hear it's still prominently mixed in this album and just cutting through. Let's go back and hear this complete chromaticism thing again. Okay. Okay, out of the gate, F sharp minor, goes back to that A for a second.
Come on, baby. We gotta get.
And I thought that was a bass harmonic, was it? Right here?
Come on, baby. Baby, we gotta get
maybe?
our clothes on.
Okay.
There'll be no easy days,
Already's out.
'cause I've got
Already's out. F natural there.
no degree. You'll see your brother in a week or 3. Here's a picture of me, just don't let them see. 'Cause they're not that
Change again. So that's the third key change, it sounds like.
fond of me.
One more time, I'll let it roll. I just want to kind of get an idea of what to expect.
We gotta
Okay.
get our clothes on. There'll be no easy days, 'cause I've got no degree. You'll see your brother in a week or 3. Here's a picture of me, just don't let them see. 'Cause they're not that fond of me.
Okay, so we have... Not really sure what they're doing. It's a lot of key changes. Let it roll. Super cool.
Tell you that I'm not real.
Okay, back to where we were.
Time is through, and I'll be the one. Yeah, I'll see this through. I'll fight for you. No one else is going to. They're too busy fighting over you. Come on, baby. We gotta get our plane now. Punk rock.
This is quite the challenge. They're all over the place. I'm gonna just kind of get my head around it as I hear it a bit more, but let's zoom in on some really cool bass playing that's going by. It's nothing too long. There's not one really long phrase of crazy stuff. I just hear these really tasty fills. And that last really jarring key/chord change here, I think he raked down harmonics. something like that. It was just so tasty. Let's see.
I'll fight for you. No one else is going to.
Right there.
No one else is going to.
I hear like the guitar scraping too.
No one else is going to. They're too busy fighting over you. Come on, baby. We gotta get our plane now. Punk rock won't pay the bills, so we gotta get started early. I like to hang around here with you. Got a life to teach you. Just you and me.
See,
But everyone's
okay,
just
they're repeating it, so there is some form here. There is a framework. I've heard some things happen twice now, so you could say A major to C to E, and I still don't even think that's correct. But it's coming into view, and it's just really cool. Your ear just can't settle in one place before they change the tonality. I'm gonna go back about, I don't know, 30 seconds. I'm just curious, what is the melody doing on top of this now that I'm hearing the chords? I wasn't paying attention the first time.
come on, baby. We gotta get our plane now. Punk rock won't pay the bills,
Okay.
so we gotta get started early. I like to hang around here with you. Got a life to teach you, just you and me. But everyone's just gotta see you. They're gonna tell you that I'm not real, but their time is through, and I'm with you still. And I'll be the one. Yeah, I'll see this through. I'll fight for you. No one else is going to. But too
Wow.
busy fi-
Okay, I have the lyrics pulled up here because Maddie, that's my daughter's name. It's actually Madeline, but she goes by Maddie. And I was just curious what it was about. And it seems like a pretty somber song, maybe about divorce and a broken home, parents being split up, and just trying to maintain some sort of relationship with her. I did read these prior to starting this episode. I just wanted to, I think I'm going to start doing that now, just to have a bit more context on maybe how the messaging and the music relate. Because oftentimes I'm feeling the music and I'm like, wait, what was that about? So I'm going to try to make that a habit. I'm doing that over on Patreon with the full albums already, just reading through every lyric, no music. And then when you hear the music, it's like a soundtrack being put to something you're already forming in your mind image-wise. I think it makes for a better listen for me. Okay, they're repeating the craziness. I don't want to harp on it too much, but it's very, you can't sit in one place too long. And I feel like in a way that kind of fits in with the messaging, this unsettling, taking it a day at a time, hoping for the best, maybe spatting with a co-parent, or maybe a co-parenting situation not going well, and just trying to get what you can out of it. And that's a very complex situation. My parents divorced when I was young. Thankfully, it was very amicable, still are today, but it's not always such the case. And I think the music really sums up the hectic nature of that, the uncertain chaos of that. That's what I gleaned from those key changes happening. And there's just so much tasty bass playing in the sense that he's really gluing all of that stuff together. What I was listening for earlier is he foreshadowing a chord change with a fill going into the next chord. And I think one or two notes every now and then he might be doing that. So like this part I just paused on, we're kind of up here in B major. And before it goes to that E flat minor, he went to the minor third of the chord before it happened. So a bit, that's when I say glue together, that's kind of what I mean. You might play a note of the next chord one beat before it happens, and it just kind of makes everyone's ears fall into it a bit more naturally. And it's a very subtle thing. And I think as a player, it just kind of helps you map out where you're going, especially in a key signature change like all this. All these crazy ones happening. Right here.
I'll fight for you.
Yeah. Versus just staying on the note and jumping to it completely 90-degree left turn. Something a bit natural about just walking down to it. So that's kind of what I think. It's natural.
Too busy fighting over you. They're gonna tell you that I'm not real.
They're going to tell you I'm not real. Maybe talking about another family. I'm also listening to what they say on certain phrases where the music is really jarring, some of these key changes. Just like that one. They're going to tell you I'm not real. That came right on that really it's a jarring jump. I'm kind of getting used to it now, though. Right here.
They're gonna tell you that I'm not real.
See?
But we're having fun together every day. What could be more real than that to a girl and her dad? And there's no way they can brainwash you away from me.
Whoa.
Come on, baby.
This is whack. They just descended chromatically. And it just got darker and darker and darker every half step down. And the way it locked in after a few chords with those vocal harmonies, I got to hear that again. This is a colorful song. Like a Rubik's Cube. Just colorful. Full of patterns and uncertainty. Where does that start?
Could be more real than that to a girl and her dad. And there's no way they can brainwash you away from
Okay. He's also outlining the fifth, 1 and 5. I'm not sure if he's doing some inversions, and inversion just meaning like if I'm doing G and D power chord, you can do the D in first inversion and just go F sharp D. Sounds a little smoother than going. You can just walk it down chromatically. So let me listen again, because if he's doing that, that's extremely clever.
There's no way they can brainwash you away from me.
Maybe. It's hard to tell.
Way they can brainwash you away from me.
Woo! Oh, that's so much dissonance happening. I love it.
Come on, baby.
Nice A major there. Wow, I haven't heard a song like this in a long time here on the channel. You know, I could go back and start at the beginning and just get really granular. But we need to keep it moving, and I'm just trying to stay zoomed out enough to kind of feel the impact of the whole picture musically. And it's been a huge aid having these lyrics, because I find this music to make a lot of sense, maybe illustrating the internal dialogue this figurative dad is having with himself. Because I'm reading the line here. So come on, baby, let's just go home now. I'll be responsible. I'll do everything I have to. Instead of fighting over you, I'll be the one. I'll be invisible. And there's no way they can brainwash you. And I think this figurative father perspective here is feeling the guilt of things he's maybe done or things he can't control that are bound to happen, and just how he fits into the whole dynamic. What a great pairing with the craziness of the music, have to say.
Come on, baby. I gotta try to explain things. There's no easy way to say these things to you. There's no easy way to tell you what is real. So come on, baby. Let's just go home now. I'll be responsible.
Outlining that F sharp minor 7 there. And this is the first time in the song it's really stayed on the same chord for a little longer. Hasn't been in one place very long. Until now. I love this. Fun pattern. Sounds like that's what he's doing. And I'm going to comment now. I mean, this album is 8 years later, so Karl's sound, his approach, his playing style, his articulation, his signature sound from his hands is so consistent. And what I mean by that is, like, when you listen to bass players on lots of records, generally speaking, playing fingerstyle, eighth notes under a chord, you might hear the articulation moving, but really you could tune it out enough and it just sounds like one note. Like you're not hearing you might hear like a little bit of separation. Something about Karl's playing is that no matter how intense the composition is, no matter how loud the guitars or the drums are, I can hear every articulation. It's like bump, 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 bump. It's so separated. And I think it's a mixture of him digging in. And I feel like his tone makeup isn't a lot of bass frequency. It's more in the low mid. So it's still to your ear sounds bassy and maybe full, but I find that's how you get a lot of that separation. And I say this a lot in other videos, but you don't need as much bass in your tone as you might think. It can really be a diminishing returns thing with separation, clarity, articulation. It's a lot of unusable data when you start getting, down below 100, maybe 80, 70, 60 hertz. You got to be really careful on how you dial that in. A good low shelf can help, but I find his tone is really focusing on the low mids. It's just what it sounds like to my ears. And I think that helps not crowd out the mix and have its own place to be really clear and punchy. Okay, enough nerdy tone talk. Let's ride this one out.
Now, I'll be responsible. I'll do everything I have to. Yeah, I'll be the one. I'll be invincible. I'll see it through. I'll be invincible.
Wow.
I'll fight for you. I'll fight for you. We'll be okay.
Well, that song is certainly going to take another listen or 5. What a strange but cool composition. That made this band so much cooler in my book. To know that they have that, like they took it that far. They went there. Because when I heard Everything Sucks, I loved the album. The bass playing, all of it. I heard little traces of that quirky experimentation, musically, just the strange songwriting moves. I'll say it again, I come from progressive rock and such. I love that stuff. So I'm very curious how this song in particular fits in on the rest of the album. I'm not going to believe every song is that weird, but I imagine it fits in really nicely. I imagine it just gives it some context. This album came out 8 years later. Sounds a bit more polished as well. So, wow, this is definitely going on a full album poll. I do full albums each month over on Patreon. You should come join our community. It's the best way to support the channel. This was a great song. I'm sure I'll be hearing this album sometime soon, regardless if it wins or not. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. And if you enjoyed this, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I love you all, and we'll see you in the next one.